Traditionally, art is seen to have 7 fundamental elements: line, shape, form, value, color, texture, and space. But the UK's GCSE AQA exam board's art and design syllabus for 16-year-olds, supported by BBC Bitesize, adds an 8, pattern. So I will too. Patterns are all around us in nature as well as in art. They occur when shapes, lines, or colors are repeated in tiger stripes, wood grain, tree branches. How complicated a pattern is depends on what is repeated and the way in which it is repeated. Patterns start with a single element or basic unit that will be repeated, a motif. One example of a motif is that found in the Paisley designs of George Haité around 1850, based on a twisted teardrop shape called a butt, which dates back to ancient Persia that became popular in the West in the 18th and 19th centuries. Another is a rosette, a round, stylized design, especially one that resembles a flower. This image, design, or idea can be repeated and arranged in many different ways in order to create different types of patterns. In interior design, a single motif may be repeated on different objects, such as a light and wallpaper border, to link features and give a sense of unity to room design, or to link rooms to each other. Patterns may be irregular or regular. Irregular patterns and motifs, or a number of motifs, are repeated in a way that can be predicted. It could be exactly the same each time, or it could change in a way that is regularly repeated. There are lots of ways to arrange motifs to create regular patterns. A block repeat is the most basic way of creating a pattern. To create this type of pattern, the motif is repeated in exactly the same way in horizontal and vertical lines to create a regular pattern. In a rotational pattern, the motif is rotated on its axis. Most designers will rotate at 90 degrees or 180 degrees to make more uniform patterns, but the motif can be rotated and repeated at any angle. This is an 90-degree rotation, and this one is 180 degrees. These patterns can read as a continuous design, which can be repeated endlessly without any visible start or end. Or the rotation may add variety and create a more organic feel, one that is irregular, flowing, or related to nature, adding what seems like imperfection to the geometric place. Half-drop patterns are created by lowering every second line of motifs down a half length height of the motif. This produces patterns that are regular but feel more varied than a block repeats. Motifs can also be arranged in patterns by mirroring them horizontally or vertically. Placing the motifs around lines of symmetry in this way can create well-balanced images. Patterns do not always stay the same. In gradation, a motif is put through a number of small, gradual changes so that its shape, color, or size becomes increasingly different. Reductions or increases in sizes of motif can be used to make points. Political points about power, ecological risk, or in architecture to ornament a tapering element in a building, such as in the Chrysler Building. An irregular pattern is one in which the motif changes or the way it is repeated is unpredictable, such as broken tiles arranged in no set pattern but where the same motif appears from time to time as is repeating. A shape repeated but with its height changing, where the pattern is created with spirals that change in size and number of turns, or are placed in random positions, or carving brush or pen strokes, acting as a motif that is repeated in different sizes and at different angles to suggest the random branches of a tree. How complex a pattern is depends on how it is designed, combining different motifs in a simple way to create a more complex and varied pattern can work very well. A designer may mix regular and irregular patterns like a geometric lattice with organic plant parts, making branches, flowers, and leaves all repeat at different intervals can make a pattern seem organic and natural. Using more than one motif or a combination of patterns types can create quite complicated designs, as can mixing mirroring images and half-drop repeats in the same piece. It may even be difficult to identify the type of pattern used in a piece because so many different types have been combined together. A radiating pattern is one arranged round a central point. It can seem to radiate in all directions. These patterns can result in designs that feel balanced and can be an effective way to create a focal point at the center of the pattern. They can be found in mandala art, intricate, symmetrical designs, geometric in nature, arranged in a circle representing the universe, unity, and harmony. fabric patchworks, and in Roman mosaics that have been known to accentuate focus on a portrait's their center. In Islamic art, we can find geometric shapes and patterns that suggest flowers and plants. Star or petal shapes may spread out from a central point. In arabesque designs based on intertwined flowing lines with twisting and overlapping lines that creates a complicated pattern. Pattern can play a key role organizing and decorating design. In expressive arts, the use of pattern can add variety to a composition, draw attention to areas by adding contrast, reflect patterns that occur in the real world, or help create a feeling of movement, rhythm, or unity. It can act as a contrast and a nod to a stylistic movement, as does the patterned background of my piece, Victoriana burlesque hula hoop performer, setting the figure portrayed within a steampunk environment. Gustav Klimt and Van Gogh themselves are particularly noted for their use of patterns in their fine art to find aesthetic.